Hey friends, it has been one full day since I did a TCA peel on my face, neck, chest, and shoulders. I did a 20% TCA peel on my face. This was one day ago yesterday. And so I'm going to show you day by day the healing timeline and what to expect with healing from a TCA peel. So today my face is very tight feeling and it feels a little bit like a sunburn. My skin is quite red and quite shiny, and it has a little bit of texture, almost like crepey, cellophane or tissue paper kind of skin. So I'm going to get it nice and close so that you can see what my skin is looking like one day after 20% TCA. Then we'll talk a little bit about best practices for aftercare for a TCA peel. So you can see there's some redness, there's some shininess, the skin feels tight, it has a slight sunburn type feeling, and I'm not sure if it picks up on camera, but there's a little bit of texture or lines. You can see where that outer layer of skin is going to start kind of drying up and releasing or start to flake in about 3 days. So that is the typical timeline, is about 3 days post TCA peel on the face. You start seeing the face start to peel. That's a little bit different on the body. The body does take longer. Now, I did a 13% on my shoulders, neck, and chest because my neck and chest are quite sensitive. I only did 3 layers of 13% on my neck, chest, and shoulders, and I did 4 layers of 20% TCA on my face. So I do expect to see some pretty good peeling on my face and some nice exfoliation on my neck, chest, and shoulders. The exfoliation or the peeling on my neck, chest, and shoulders is going to take a little longer, and that is typical of the body. So I expect starting tomorrow, I'm going to start to see maybe some tiny bit of breaking up of that outer layer of skin around the areas of my face that move. So the corners of the nose, around the mouth, and sometimes around the eyes. But typically the high movement areas like the mouth and around the corners of the nose, you start to see that peeling first. So if you're with me and you have any questions or want to make a comment, feel free to do that during this live. And if you miss the live, you can always do it in the comments. I will definitely answer. So the skin today, I have been treating with both emu oil, and that is also from platinumskincare.com. I do have that discount Stacy 10, so if you want to save 10% on your peel or post-peeling products, certainly use that code. And also Avene Cyclopate Plus. This is really heavy and so great post-peel. In the first 48 hours or so after a peel, I like to treat my skin about every 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead because I need it now and just take 2 pumps of the emu oil, and I'm just going to press it along my face and then gently push that in. And I'm also going to get my neck, chest, and onto my shoulders and make sure that everything is coated well. And I'm definitely feeling some rough texture, and that's normal, especially around my mouth, my chin. It feels kind of like slightly gritty. And I've had a bit of a runny nose, and so I've had to blow my nose a few times, which is kind of hard on the skin after a TCA peel. So right here, I have a little raw spot. So I'm trying really hard not to blow my nose. I've been sniffling a lot because any friction, even with something as soft as a Kleenex, is going to create some rawness on this freshly peeled skin. So you want to avoid touching the skin with any kind of cloth or tissue or anything except for your fingers as you are healing. And so I'm just going to press this in. Even the motion of rubbing is, can be kind of abrasive on this raw skin right after a TCA peel. So I just like to go ahead and pat it in and be as gentle as possible. Now, a tiny bit of light without pressure rubbing isn't going to be the end of the world, and that's fine. You just definitely don't want to vigorously rub. So I like to put on the emu oil, pat it into the treated areas, And then throughout the day, drink plenty of water. Staying hydrated internally also helps the skin. So drink plenty of water, and every few hours, apply some emu oil or even some squalene oil. Timeless Skincare has a really good, affordable squalene oil, and that's a nice option if you don't have the emu oil. So once this has started to absorb into my skin, I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of the Avene Cicaphate Plus. This is my routine every couple of hours, the first 48 hours, or until the skin starts to peel. Then I don't do it quite as often, but I still keep the skin really nice and moisturized. So as far as cleansing, you want to cleanse with cooler water and with a non-fragrance gentle cleanser. So CeraVe has a hydrating cleanser that's really nice. That can be used. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. So just something that is, fragrance-free, gentle. I prefer something that's a cream cleanser that doesn't lather, that's hydrating. So that CeraVe hydrating cleanser is great. And just very gently clean the skin and rinse with cool water, pat gently to dry. Personally, I don't wear makeup at all through the peeling process. You'll hear different people say different things, but I do wear a sunscreen every day. I try to avoid going out in the direct sun, and if I have to run an errand, like go to the grocery store, I wear a baseball cap and mineral sunscreen. So I like Elta MD UV Daily. They have a tinted and a clear. I like the non-tinted when I'm healing from a TCA peel, but the tinted variety is really nice if just for everyday use. Now, the reason why I like that one is because it is very hydrating post chemical peel. It is a medical grade sunscreen, and it is super hydrating. So that's the one I tend to lean toward after a TCA peel, simply because it's so hydrating. So every couple hours with a oil, lots of liquid, lots of water to stay hydrated, and then this heavy Avene Cicaphate. Now let me show you that, guys. This, I've talked about this so many times. It is such a nice product for healing, whether you're healing from a peel, mesotherapy, microneedling, any kind of treatment. This is my go-to. It's really thick, almost like a diaper cream, and I put on a very liberal amount after a chemical peel because I really want to lock in that emu oil. And I'm just going to dab this all over, spread some of it onto my neck and chest as well. My face seems to need this a little bit more right now because the face is going to start peeling first, and that's definitely feeling more dry and a little bit more irritated. There's more redness there. But I'm going to rub some of this down on my neck and chest and onto my shoulders where I treated yesterday. And if you want to see that full tutorial, I will list it in the description after this live. You can find it in the Chemical Peels playlist on my channel. So I'm going to definitely get plenty of that Cicaphate around where my nose is a little irritated from blowing my nose. And then my upper eyelids I did with TCA Peel, and they're just a little tender, so I'm going to make sure I get some of that Cicaphate on that area as well. So I'm going to be careful not to rub too much and just press this in and let it absorb. Every so often I will go back and just kind of press a little bit more, but I put a really liberal amount, and so it'll have a little bit of a white cast until it settles into the skin. Now this is the Avene Cicaphate is great to have on hand just to use as a heavy night cream if you have really dry skin or you live in a dry climate. So even if you're not post-treatment, but you need something that's a little more rich, a little heavier as a night cream, once or twice a week using that, it's so great. Okay, you guys, so this is kind of what I go through every few hours for the first couple of days post-peel. And tomorrow I will come back and show you how I look a full 2 days after the peel, and we'll see if there's any flaking starting to happen. I anticipate kind of around the movement areas, the high movement areas on the face, we're going to start to see that outer layer kind of breaking up and coming off. Not a full peel yet, but we'll start to see some action by the end of the day tomorrow, I would imagine. But typically, you really start to see the peeling around day 3, and that can continue on till about 10 days. People who are slow peelers, it can go as much as 14 days. And people who are quick peelers, it may be as little as 7 or 8 days. So that 10-day window is kind of just a general window, but I'm going to just show you every day until I get to a point where I feel like the healing is done. Now, I probably won't do that with my neck, chest, and shoulders because it's going to take a bit longer. So if you ever do a body peel, or if you have hyperpigmentation, if you do any kind of peel on the back of your arms, don't expect it to peel in that 3-day timeline because it's going to take longer on the body. So it can take up to 3 or 4 weeks to really get a good exfoliation post peel on the body. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my day 2 update. I'll see you next time.